Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. The England footballing season has kicked off this weekend in the EFL with all clubs now playing competitive football with the League Cup first round. And to end the first round matches, we have a fierce derby down south as Plymouth take on Exeter in the Devon derby. Plymouth had a slow start to their last campaign when gaffer Tom Cleverley first took charge, losing their first 4 games in the league and were sitting bottom until early December. But loyalty and faith allowed Tom Cleverley to turn the ship, and they finished the league season just outside the playoff spots by 2 points, ending up in 8th position. Their League Cup campaign last season saw Plymouth come from behind to beat QPR at home in the first round, but fell short to Swansea away on penalties in the second. For the away side, Exeter suffered relegation last season after a 4-season stay in the third tier. It was their away form that let them down as they picked up just 4 wins from their 23 away league matches, with their last victory on the road coming against Port Vale back in late January. Some financial struggles have slowed down Exeter's spending this summer, and they have a slim squad filled out by academy prospects. It was a first round exit in the League Cup for the Grecians last season, losing 2-0 away to Cheltenham. Despite Plymouth outshining Exeter in the league table last season, the head-to-head went the way of Exeter. They won the first meeting at St James's back in October by 2-0 and then slowed the Plymouth promotion push with a 2-2 draw here at Home Park in April this year. With both sides in different divisions this season, this could be the only Devon derby of the campaign. If so, who will take the bragging rights and progress through to the second round of the League Cup? And before the League Cup second round draw was made, and whoever wins tonight will take on Coventry at home. So Premier League opposition wait for the winner of this tie. Of course, newly promoted Coventry into the Premier League, led to the promised land by Frank Lampard. So there's a lot on stake tonight, and of course just the local bragging rights, which should be enough for both of these teams to get up for this game. It was Plymouth in 8th position last season and Exeter finishing in 21st. They actually had an okay end to the season last campaign. They only lost 1 of their last 5 in the league, Exeter, but it was just a little bit too late. They lost their last game of the season to Bradford, but before that they drew 3 on the bounce, including a draw to Plymouth and then beating Doncaster 3-0 as well. So they did pull up a fight to stay in the third tier, but it just wasn't quite enough for Exeter, who have only won 1 of their last 20 last season, and that was the game against Doncaster in early April. So just from that form you can see exactly why it all sort of fell apart for the Grecians, who had to change manager kind of unexpectedly in the February of this year. Gary Cordwell, who'd been there since October 2022, left to go back to his former club of Wigan, which meant that former manager of Exeter returned, Matt Taylor, on an interim basis. Then he joined permanently over the course of this summer. He is the man who brought promotion to Exeter from League 2 back in 2022, but he has got a whole mighty task on his hands, Matt Taylor, because this Exeter side is heavily depleted at the moment, and it is a team that lacks much experience, but I'm sure that it will be a side that will fight in every game as they look to try and get promoted back to League One at the first chance of asking. As we're 5 minutes away from kick-off, it will go through the both sets of starting 11s. As we'll start with Plymouth, and their new number 1 is in goal of Murphy Cooper, who spent last season on 2 loan spells at Barnsley and Sheffield Wednesday. It looks like it was going to be a back 4 of Matthias Ross at right back. At left back will be their new signing from Burton, of Alex Hartridge, and then 2 centre-backs of captain Wes Harding, who's also joined this summer from Millwall on a free after spending the last half of last season on loan here at Plymouth. And alongside him will be Alex Mitchell, who won promotion from League One with Charlton back in the 2024-2025 season via the playoffs. It's two older midfielders of Harvey White, who's been brought in on a free after rejecting a new deal from Stevenage, and alongside him will be Malachi Boateng, who started every single League One game last season for the Pilgrims, and then two wide men of Ronan Curtis and also Xavier Amici, and then two strikers of new signing Will Evans, brought in on Friday from Mansfield for £400,000 plus add-ons. He is Plymouth's 7th signing of the summer, and alongside him will be Bim Peppel, who scored 16 league goals last season, scoring 3 in the last 4, which included a brace at home to Port Vale at the back end of April. And for Exeter, it is Jack Bycroft in goal. He actually scored last season in the 96th minute in a 3-3 draw at home to Stockport County towards the back end of April. It's going to be a back four. Right back will be Andrew Oluwabori, who made 2 appearances last season for Exeter before going out on loan to Yeovil, where he scored the one time away at Sutton at the end of September. Left back will be Luca Woodhouse, who joined last season on a free from Wickham, and 2 centre-halves of Ed James, the 21-year-old, and also new club captain of Jack Fitzwater, who scored 1 time last season, and that was at home to Blackpool in a 4-1 win just over a year ago yesterday. And 4 and 5 along the midfield on the right-hand side will be Gwion Edwards, who was brought in on a free from Morecambe. He scored 7 goals for them last season in the National League, despite being relegated. On the left-hand side will be Reece Cole, who scored against Plymouth last season in their 2-0 win against them at home, and also with a 2-2 draw away from home to give Exeter a 1-goal lead here when they met on the 11th of April. 3 in the midfield of Jake Doyle-Hayes, Charlie Cummins and Taylor Perry, a signing on a free from Shrewsbury. And up front, leading the line, someone they've managed to keep a hold of, and that is going to be Jaden Wareham, who joined last season on a compensation fee from Reading. He scored 19 league goals, 22 in all competitions. There's been plenty of interest in Exeter's number 9, but they've been able to keep hold of the former Chelsea Academy prospect, and if they've got any chance of having any success this season, it'll be vital they keep hold of Jaden Wareham. As we are edging closer to kick off it at Home Park, also known as the Theatre of Greens, it has been the home of Plymouth Argyle since 1903. And it is Devon Derby number 96, where Plymouth have won 2 of the last 5 and Exeter have won 2 of the last 8. Both of the Exeter wins were at their home ground at St James's, the 2-0 win back in October last year, and also a 4-0 win back in October 2019. For Plymouth, their 2 most recent wins was a 1-0 away win back in April 2023, and also a 4-2 home win here back in October 2022. And there is Wes Harding and Jack Fitzwater shaking hands as the 2 captains, as it's of course both sides in their home strips tonight. Plymouth in the green and white, Exeter in the red and white tops with the black shorts and the black socks as well. Their goalkeeper Jack Bycroft in a full yellow jersey tonight with black stripes down his shorts in the Adidas pattern, as he is their new number 1 this season after the departure of Whitworth, who they had on loan from Crystal Palace for the last couple of seasons. Jack Bycroft became the number 1 at the back end of last season due to the Whitworth injury that he picked up back in March, and of course ended up scoring that goal against Stockport County. More importantly tonight, they'll be wanting him to keep the goals out of his own net instead of putting one in Plymouth's net, as it will be a loud and proud home and away end here for the Devon Derby, as it will be Exeter to kick off, kicking left to right. Plymouth right to left. It's Exeter to kick us off. Going back to the goalkeeper of Jack Bycroft, who will send it long down the middle of the pitch. It's a header away by Ross for Plymouth, headed back forward by Doyle-Hayes for Exeter. The ball drops loose to number 8, Taylor Perry, but there was a foul in the build-up on Plymouth number 15, Alex Mitchell, and it will be a free kick for the Pilgrims as we're just under 30 seconds in, and it's going to be a Plymouth free kick. Also a yellow kit tonight for the Plymouth goalkeeper, so a bit of a kit clash between the 2 goalkeepers. I think it's a bit of a darker yellow shade for the Plymouth goalkeeper, Murphy Cooper, who will send it out towards the right-hand side. It goes beyond everyone and eventually bounces off a red shirt, and that will be a Plymouth throw-in taken quickly down the right-hand side. It's Curtis with the ball in, it's overhit, and it will go out and it will curl out for a goal kick for Exeter. Ronan Curtis, 30 years of age now, joined in the January of last season from Port Vale on an undisclosed fee. Scored twice for Plymouth when he joined, just the one at home though, which was against Bolton. So it's a goal kick for Exeter, who pack out that away end behind the goal of Jack Bycroft for this first half, as he sends the ball long out towards the right-hand side. Header won by Ross once again for Plymouth, helped on by Evans and then also by Curtis. Header away by Woodhouse for Exeter, but only as far as Plymouth as they try and attack down the right flank. It's Evans with a ball towards Curtis. It's swept up at the back by Fitzwater, who's collided into, and he's not won the free kick, and it's going to be a Plymouth throw-in on the far side towards the final third, where it looks like they're going to go for a long throw into the area from the captain, Wes Harding, who made his move here permanent in the summer after spending the second half of last season here on loan, and has been named the vice-captain as he throws it long into the area. It's a header away, but it's been headed back to Harding, who puts it back into the area. Wareham with the first header, comes off his own teammate and then gets the second clearance away, the Exeter number 9, and it go all the way through to the Plymouth goalkeeper of Murphy Cooper, who lifts it to the right-hand side to Wes Harding. Just before the halfway line, it's Plymouth to play forward. Here's Will Evans, their new signing from Mansfield on Friday. Boateng, quick 1-2 with Curtis. Still with the number 6, Boateng, slipping it towards the right side to Curtis, just slightly too much on it. Throwing in a left-back position for Exeter City. Hello, number 1 Liverpool. Hello, hope everyone is enjoying so far. It's less than 3 minutes in. It's still Plymouth 0, Exeter 0. It's going to be a throw-in taken by the Exeter number 3, Luca Woodhouse, who can also play in central midfield, the 22-year-old. As it's cleared away for Exeter to the halfway line, flicked on by Cole, but can't quite find the run of Wareham, and it's been cleaned up at the back by Ross for Plymouth, as he gets the ball back from the goalkeeper, Cooper, signed on an undisclosed fee from QPR this summer. Long ball forward towards Peppel, who can bring the ball down, and he can lay it off towards the left-hand side for Plymouth. Argyle with Hartridge. It goes into the middle of the park now to Boateng, just in front of the centre circle. Plays it to the right side to Harding. Forward to Curtis. Inside to Boateng. Back out to Curtis. Bit of triangle play. Here's Harding trying to bomb down the right-hand side. Gets away from Cummins for Exeter. Chops back. Left-footed ball goes in towards Peppel. It's a key header, but then a shot towards goal. Can't quite catch it there. Harvey White, and it's a goal kick for Exeter. It's a positive start for Plymouth, especially down their right flank, as it looks like it's going to be Wes Harding at right back, and Matthias Ross is going to be playing centre half alongside Alex Mitchell. But I think it's a really clever sign in Harvey White, the 24-year-old who had a fantastic campaign last time out with Stevenage, reaching the playoff semi-final, losing out to Stockport County in the end, as a clearance from Mitchell means it's an Exeter throw-in on the near side, about midway inside the Plymouth half. A chance for Exeter to move up the pitch and attempt to try and work an attempt at the Plymouth goal, as Exeter last season were relegated by the 3 points. They'd have a better goal difference than 20th place, but couldn't quite get the result they needed on the last day with a 2-1 defeat at home to Bradford, who also stumbled at the playoff semi-final stage, as a flick on from Wareham can fall to Ross, who volleys away for Plymouth up towards Peppel, brilliantly brought down with the chest, and then brings a teammate into play of Amici. Here's Will Evans, just towards the left-hand side, edge of the area, finds the run of Amici, who'll go put the ball in the box. It's a punch away from Bycroft. All five, Boateng on the edge, controls it, plays it to his right to Harding in the area, tries the cross. It's well blocked for Exeter, and it's going to be another throw-in for Plymouth, and it looks like it's probably going to be a long throw again from Wes Harding, who's been made vice-captain, as mentioned before, with Joe Edwards the captain, and he has been since the 2020-2021 season, the 35-year-old. Long throw into the area, to the near post. It's a header away towards the edge of the area, and there's a chance for Exeter to break. There's a pull of the shirt as Exeter try and break with Andrew Oluwabori. Goes beyond the halfway line, and then it runs out of pitch as the ball is received from Taylor Perry. Just needed to keep it in there, the number 8. But just lost his bearings, didn't realise where he was on the pitch. But it's a positive run forward from Oluwabori, the number 11. He spent a bit of time last season on loan in the National League with Yeovil. Began at the Huddersfield Academy before joining Peterborough in 2021 after a successful trial period. Ball down the left channel for Plymouth, header away there by James for Exeter. Put back forward by Hartridge, then cleared by Doyle Hayes, and it's going to be chased down here by Cole, but it's dealt with by the goalkeeper. But Plymouth can't keep it with a tackle from White. And that's going to be a throw-in on the near side for Exeter. Midway side, the Plymouth half. Less than 7 minutes in, we're still goalless here at Home Park. Just a bit of a talking to there to Jaden Wareham from the referee tonight, Dean Whitestone. A little bit of afters after the challenge, but nothing major. Game can get back underway shortly. It was a throwing down the right-hand side here by Fitzwater. Can be kept in by Perry. And he plays it into the area, chested down by Wareham. It's a header away by Harding, then volleyed by Boateng up to the halfway line. Put back forward by Woodhouse, but only as far as Amici for Plymouth, who will try and switch it to the right side. It deflects to Pepple in a central area, tries to help it onto his teammate of Evans, but it's well dealt with in the midfield there by Doyle Hayes for Exeter in the midfield. Joined back in August 2025, Jake Doyle Hales in the midfield from Sligo Rovers, and he actually joined as the club's 1931 fund player, which is part funded by the supporters' trust, as a ball over the top means a collision between goalkeeper Murphy Cooper and Jaden Wareham as well. The goalkeeper got there first, headed it out of play, and then the two collided. It was a ball that both can go for. It was evenly contested. It's a brilliant ball down that right channel, and it's just asking the question of the Plymouth defence. And the goalkeeper felt like it was his duty to leave his area and make sure the ball was cleared, and he just clattered into Wareham once he'd won the header. I think both will be fine to continue. Should just be a throw-in for Exeter. No, it actually has been given as a free kick for Plymouth. Don't feel like there was a lot Jaden Wareham could have done there. If anything, he got smashed into by the goalkeeper. But it's a long clearance by Cooper out towards the right-hand side to Curtis. It goes beyond him and Woodhouse. There's actually a foul on Woodhouse. Push there from Plymouth number 11. Ronan Curtis, who has played for Ireland at senior level on the international stage. Said it was a proud moment for him when he made his debut. He's actually born in Croydon, Ronan Curtis, but moved to Ireland at the age of 10, played for Derry for 4 years. Derry was actually the place his mother was born, funnily enough. And we've got a free kick for Exeter. High ball from Bycroft, headed back towards his own goal by Wareham, volleyed up into the air by Amici, and then he wins the header to Evans as he can try and play it out to the left-hand side as it's Hartridge to get there, and the last touch is off the Plymouth man on the halfway line, and that is going to be a throw-in for Exeter. On this right side with Jack Fitzwater. The captain began his career at the West Brom Academy. Who we got winning chat? I would like to know who we think is going to win. I think Plymouth will be favourites, and rightly so. Got the much better squad, but it's Derby Day at the end of the day. It's Cummins, pickpockets, Boateng on the left-hand side. A good sliding challenge from Harding, and it's one back for Plymouth, and Harding gets it off Boateng. A slide tackle in there from Reece Cole, and it's a throw-in just inside the Exeter half of Plymouth on the far side in front of their manager Tom Cleverley, just the age of 36. Won 27 of his first 55 games last season at Plymouth with a 49.1% win rate. It was a better win rate than he had at Watford, where it was just a 33.9% at the Hornets. As here is the number 22, Alex Hartridge at left back, midway inside the Exeter half, goes for an early ball in. It's an inviting one, and Peppel gets there, but can't quite divert it on target. He was stretching, couldn't get the contact. Goal kick for Exeter. It's such an inviting cross there from Alex Hartridge, the man they brought in from Burton on a free. It was Plymouth's first signing of the season. Actually born in Devon, Alex Hartridge, and came through Exeter's academy and went back there in 2025, was part of their squad that were promoted from League 2 in 2022. And he almost set up Bim Peppel for his first goal of the season, the Canadian. There's Hartridge on the ball again for Plymouth, forward towards Amici, goes beyond him to Evans, who tries to flick it beyond James at the back for Exeter, but he can't get beyond the Welshman. And here he is, Ed James, first time clearance. It's a high one down the right channel, looking for Wareham. The header will be won by Mitchell into the middle of the park to White, and it's now back with Ross, and then to the right side to Wes Harding. Well kept and retained by Plymouth Argyle just before the 12th minute. It's still 0-0. Not had many huge chances yet as the ball goes out wide right. It's just overhit there by their new number 7, Harvey White. Can't be kept in by Captain Harding. And it will be a throw-in for Exeter on that far side. They start their league campaign at the weekend, Exeter, with an away trip to Grimsby, and then have their first home game to Accrington Stanley. Got to try and build a bit of momentum. Exeter, they've had a poor pre-season, just 1 win from 4, and that was away to Weston-super-Mare. But with that, they've lost away to Truro and Torquay, and then drew their final pre-season game at home to Bristol City, losing in the 83rd minute after a Reece Cole goal gave them the lead in the 44th minute. As Harvey White goes in for the challenge, and he can play it towards Evans, held up by Peppel. White back to the halfway line to Harding, just inside the Exeter half. He's got time to find a ball forward through the centre of the pitch. It's Evans to play out towards the left-hand side to Hartridge, who gets there ahead of the Exeter man, but he can only kick it out of play through a throw-in for Exeter. Strong challenge there between him and Andrew Oluwabori, the 24-year-old, just making his 9th senior appearance for Exeter. Does have the 1 goal, which came against Huddersfield in a home fixture back in April of 2025. Certainly a bit of heat and tension in this derby in the opening 13 and a half minutes. Throwing down the line by Fitzwater into the Plymouth half. Header won by Mitchell. Played forward by Doyle Hayes. As far as White. It's to Evans as he blasted off the referee. And that will be a drop ball on the halfway line for Plymouth. Couldn't quite get out of the way there. Dean Whitestone, the referee. Ballooned off him. That's for Plymouth. They play their first league game at home to Stockport County, then are on their travels to Wycombe Wanderers the week after, and then is back at home to Bradford City. So 3 pretty difficult fixtures to start the league campaign for Plymouth Argyle. So they'll be using this League Cup game to try and build a bit of momentum for them. In pre-season, they went unbeaten in 6, winning to Plymouth Parkway, Bath, Torquay, Truro, drawing to Bristol and winning their last pre-season friendly to Tavistock 4-1 as Evans flicks it to Peppel. Edge of the area, goes for the shot, blocked by Fitzwater and then helped on by Edwards for Exeter. As far as Harding, it's Boateng midway inside the Exeter half, plays out to the far side to Curtis, into the box to Boateng, who's continued his run, tried to replay it back into Ronan Curtis, but it was intercepted and cleared up towards Wareham. It's a header won by Mitchell, and it can't be kept in by Matthias Ross, the Danish defender, and it'll be a throw-in on the halfway line for Exeter on the far side, with their number 3, Luca Woodhouse, who started at Tonbridge Angels before moving on to Wycombe, signed after a trial, and from Wycombe he then moved on to Exeter last season. Bycroft with a ball forward, headed on by White for Plymouth, headed up in the air by Evans, and then the second time he's won the header, but then headed away up towards Cole, and then headed away for Plymouth, and then headed back forward for Exeter, and headed away by Hartridge for Plymouth on the halfway line, and it'll run through to the goalkeeper of Jack Bycroft. A bit of head tennis there between the two sides. Did feature for England under-19s back in 2019. Jack Bycroft, long ball forward. Wareham can't win the header on Mitchell, and he goes out to the right-back position for Plymouth with Harding. Long ball forward, it's up towards Peppel, down the centre of the pitch. Again, he chests it down brilliantly and tries to shrug off two defenders, but he loses out in the end. And Exeter can try and bring the ball forward on this near side. Oluwabori having to turn back, but he looks energetic to start the league campaign. The Exeter number 11, brought in from Halifax in January 2025. It's Woodhouse. Goes out to Edwards on this far side. Woodhouse has continued the run, and he's been found in the final third. He crosses it onto Harding, then back off Woodhouse, and that's going to be a Plymouth ball. It's a well-won ball by Wes Harding, the captain. Spent 3 years at Millwall, and before that spent 3 years at Rotherham. And as a youngster came through the Aston Villa and Birmingham Academy. He throws it down the Plymouth right side. It loops in the air and then headed inside for Exeter up towards Perry. Cleared by Harding. Headed back forward by Doyle Hayes and then a header by White and then volleyed forward by Cole. It's Wareham to give chase to it. He's been bundled to the ground. Referee sees it as a fair challenge. And that's going to be a goal kick for Plymouth. Just gone a little bit scrappy in the last couple of minutes. As we're 17 minutes in, it's still goalless here at Home Park. It's for Plymouth here at Home Park. They won 10 of their 23 league fixtures, winning 5 of the last 7 and only losing 2 of the last 12 here in the league. And that came to Bolton and Lincoln, both teams who were promoted up to the Championship last season. Long kick for Plymouth, headed forward for Exeter, headed down by Wareham, but it can't be controlled by Cole. Played down the line by Harding. Curtis crunched by Woodhouse fairly, and he wins the ball for Exeter. And it's the away side on the ball in their own half. On the far side, it's Edwards. Goes down over the challenger Boateng. Still with Edwards for Exeter. Being doubled up on by Curtis, who kicks it off the Exeter man, and then it's actually dropped for Perry, and it's worked that in the end for Exeter City. Still in their own half. They restart with Ed James going into Jack Fitzwater, who goes into the 18-yard area to goalkeeper Jack Bycroft, who came through the Southampton Academy. Long kick forward, up towards Wareham again. It's headed backwards by Mitchell, but to his goalkeeper. Superbly done by the Plymouth number 15. Joined permanently this summer after a loan spell here last season, where he won Player of the Season for Plymouth. The 24-year-old. Kick up into the air, headed the wrong way there by Cummins, and here is Curtis, sandwiched by 2 Exeter players who can clear it. It's Cummins again having to battle in the midfield, and he's tripped Boateng as he won the ball off of the Exeter man, and that will be a yellow card for Charlie Cummins, the 21-year-old who started the last 7 league games in a row for Exeter after being recalled from his loan spell from Western-super-Mare. And he was praised for his performances at the back end of last season, Charlie Cummins, but that's a late challenge on Malachi Boateng. So I'll say it's absolutely fantastic as well for the EFL season to be back. I was at, as I am a Stockport County fan, I was at the game on Saturday at Edgeley Park. We did get beat on penalties to Doncaster, but just great to have the EFL football season back, especially with this game, the Devon Derby. It's a free kick on the far side for Plymouth. It looks like they're going to try and cross it into the air. It just drops to the edge of the box where it's headed away for Exeter, all as far as Harvey White, who heads it forward again for Plymouth, and then it's headed down by Cummins and then cleared by Doyle Hayes up towards Cole for Plymouth. And then goes back to Edwards, who clears it off Curtis, and that's going to be thrown for Exeter on the far side, about 10 yards before the halfway line. Just noticing it's a very animated Tom Cleverley on the touchline tonight, who of course failed to win either of his first 2 Devon derbies last season in charge of Plymouth. Throwing down the line. It's a clearance by Ross. It's Peppel to give chase. It's going to bounce into the 18-yard box, and it's going to be caught by Bycroft, confident goalkeeping in the end by the 24-year-old, as it's a scary character to see running at you Bim Peppel, the Canadian, 6'1", had a brief spell at Getafe back in 2021 before moving to Luton, where he had 5 loan spells during his time at the Hatters before leaving permanently last summer for Plymouth Argyle. Actually born in Kettering, Bim Peppel, but moved to Canada in his youth. And there is Matt Taylor, the Exeter manager, back in charge for a second spell. Only won 1 of his 13 since returning back in March of this year. Throwing for Plymouth with Alex Hartridge. Waiting for a bit of movement. It's a long throw into the final third towards Peppel. Chests it inside to Amici. Cross goes into the penalty spot. It's a wayward header straight to Peppel in the area. Can he work across? He can. It's a low ball in to the back post, and the shot is weak. Saved by Bycroft. Huge opportunity. First big chance of the game. Drops to Plymouth. Ronan Curtis couldn't divert. Brilliant hold-up play by Peppel to chest it down to Amici. It was a ball into the area towards Curtis. It was a poor header away by Edwards to the left side of the box where Peppel could slam it across goal. It went beyond everyone, and it was a missed kick by Curtis at the back post. And it was a comfortable save in the end for Bycroft. As it's Plymouth to try and come forward again on the near side. It's Hartridge, midway inside the Exeter half. Down the line it goes to Peppel. Inside to Amici. Flicks it inside. Brilliant skill. Goes down over the challenge. Referee says no. Cummins can bring the ball away for Exeter. Going to try and play down the right-hand side if he can. Finds Perry. Then into the space for Oluwabari. Can he get away from Hartridge? He can. And he crosses, and it's just missed by Wareham at the near post. He'll be kept alive by Reece Cole on the opposite flank. Brilliant run there by Oluwabari, who's been the brightest spark in an Exeter shirt for short in the opening 22.5 minutes. Cummins plays the ball in towards Cole. He's been tackled by Boateng, and then Will Evans on the edge of the area doing his defensive work takes over and will bring the ball forward down the Plymouth right. Tries to play it down the line, runs out of pitch, and that's going to be a throw-in on the halfway line for Exeter. 2 chances, 1 for each back-to-back. Well worked by Exeter. Ball down the right side for Oluwabari, who had the pace on Hartridge and got a ball to the near post and slide and then stretch, and Jaden Wareham so close to getting the touch to try and force it towards goal. 22 goals last season in all competitions for Jaden Wareham. He's had plenty of interest in the EFL for a move away, but Exeter have been able to keep hold of him for now as Peppel can bring it down and lay it off into Will Evans on the halfway line and plays it across towards this near side to Hartridge, who we've already seen put a good cross in once. He's going to go for the second cross in. It's glanced on by Curtis, and that will roll, and it will roll for a goal kick. Almost stayed in towards the corner flag there. Ronan Curtis just pointing forward to Alex Hartridge. Just the cross needed to be a bit more towards goal. It kind of swung away a bit early there. Difficult for Ronan Curtis to work the header on target. As we are still waiting for the first Exeter shot. As it's Bycroft to clear it long down the right-hand side towards Wareham, who can head it on, but no one's running off of him. And it will go through to Murphy Cooper for Plymouth. Forward on the halfway line, it's Malachi Boateng. Heavy touch, loses out. Here is Doyle Hayes for Exeter. Can't play the ball forward to Reece Cole. Picked up by Ross. Is Harding away from the tackle of Cole. Forward to Ronan Curtis. Tackled, sliding challenge. Good tackle by Guion Edwards. And it's going to be a throw-in for Plymouth. Matthias Ross trying to come forward for Plymouth. He's been brought to the ground by Wareham fairly, and then Wareham's been brought to the ground. And that'll be a free kick for Exeter, who have lost in the first round of the League Cup in their last 2 seasons, losing last season to Cheltenham away and then also losing the season before to Walsall on penalties. They did make the 4th round the season before that in the 23-24 season, and they lost to Middlesbrough, who ended up going all the way to the semi-final that year, getting knocked out by Chelsea in the end. The last time Exeter won a League Cup game was against Crawley at home in August 2023, a 84th minute winner from James Scott, who now plays his football in Hong Kong. As for Plymouth, their first win of last season was in the League Cup against QPR, coming back from 2-0 down to win 3-2. Such a poor start to the league campaign for Plymouth last season, losing their first 4 in a row. Well, the back end of their season was unbelievable. Just 2 losses in their last 16, picking up 36 points from a possible 48. We're very unfortunate not to nick a playoff spot. Plymouth were in the playoffs on the last day with other results going their favour, but by full time those results went against them in the end, and their win away at Northampton wasn't enough for playoffs. Oluwabori can't get away from Hartridge. It's a throw-in just inside the Plymouth half for Exeter on the near side. Certainly their danger man, Andrew Oluwabori. It's a throw-in here to be taken by captain Jack Fitzwater, Midlands-born defender. Throws it down the right-hand side towards the edge of the box. It's controlled by Oluwabori, and he's been clattered into, and that's seen as a foul by the referee, Dean Whitestone. Just a bit too aggressive with the push in the back. 2 hands to the lower back, and a free kick goes to Exeter, a chance to get their first shot off in the game. And again, it's Andrew Oluwabori causing the issues for the Pilgrims. Former Exeter player, as mentioned before, Alex Hartridge. 2 separate spells, came through their academy. Had a loan spell back with them back in 2025. Cleverly stated the signing as a player who can strengthen them in more than one position, so clearly seen as a versatile defender. Number 22. It's going to be a delivery in here for Exeter on the right-hand side through Reece Cole, who scored home and away last season in this Devon derby. It's a one-man wall. He's going to have to get his crossing right this time. It's a teasing ball. It's a header away for Plymouth towards Will Evans, who's battling and loses out in the end. It's ended up back out to the right side here to Reece Cole. He's going to glide the ball towards the far post. Can the header be won by an Exeter man? No, it's won by Ross and then by Harding. It's not dealt with. Cummings with the shot over the bar. Not a bad opportunity there for Exeter. Their first shot of the game. It is off target. It was reworked back into the box by Reece Cole, just floating it towards the back post. Ross headed it up into the air, then Harding couldn't clear with another header in the air. And it was a chest and volley by Charlie Cummings. And he was just leaning back. And the ball ended up going a couple of yards over the bar. Still looking for his first senior Exeter goal. Charlie Cummings. Wasn't too far away there, though. First sniff at goal for Exeter. And it remains 0-0, 28.5 minutes in. Amici caught late, just in front of the centre circle. And it's Ed James with the late challenge there on Xavier Amici. Played quickly to the right side to Malachi Boateng. Ronan Curtis goes for a low ball to the near post, cleared by Woodhouse for Exeter. Plenty of time on the ball for Wes Harding on the far side, just inside his own half. Huge diagonal out to the left-hand side, where it's going to be chased down by Amici, who gets the last touch. Is it him or Oluwabori? It's going to be Amici. And that's a goal kick for Exeter City. For Exeter, they had a 4-season stay in League One, and before that it was a 10-year stint in League Two. They'll be hoping they don't stay in the 4th tier for as long as that this time around. Oluwabori loses out in the middle of the park to Boateng, but his poke forward goes straight to Ed James. And then back to Bycroft, the goalkeeper. So it's Exeter on the ball again, just less than half an hour in. Still goalless. Bycroft. Clearance down the right channel here for Exeter. Headed down by Wareham towards Cole. It's going to drop to the edge of the box to Harding, who can hook away for Plymouth to the centre circle. Evans brings it down. Then Curtis over the top for Pepple. The goalkeeper's out of his box and he can clear it away along as far as Harvey White, who tries to play it back forward, and it's cleared in the end by Fitzwater up towards Wareham for Exeter. Chests it down, just goes behind Perry. Cleared up the pitch by Hartridge. And it's going to be dealt with by Fitzwater, heading it back to his goalkeeper. And there has been large stints of this game which have been pretty scrappy from both. It's got that derby feel to it, with those strong challenges and the will and the want to win. Oluwabori can't quite win the throwing off Amici. Ball down the left channel by Evans. Pepple won't chase it. He will never get there ahead of Fitzwater. And Exeter again have it. Not looking to really play out from the back too often, the Grecians. As they're going to try here with the left centre half of Woodhouse. Goes to the goalkeeper Bycroft on the edge of the 6-yard area. It's a poor clearance headed forward by Harvey White. Controlled by Pepple. In the left-hand side of the box, he shoots towards goal and it's saved and cleared by Ed James. Not thoroughly though, as it's Boateng to try and keep it alive, but it's headed away down the left-hand side by Edwards to Cole. Then into the middle to Doyle Hayes, and it opens up down the left-hand side for Cummins. They go from defence to attack within seconds. Charlie Cummins tries to cut inside. Tackle from Harvey White. Gets back up and then plays it behind Perry. Can be dealt with by Plymouth, but then won back by Oluwabori. In the box right-hand side, tried the cross, blocked by Hartridge. Falls it to the near side to Ed James, thinking about the cross. Attempts the cross, it deflects to Will Evans in the centre of the park for Plymouth. Caught as he cleared it by Doyle Hayes. And that's going to be a free kick for Plymouth. A strong save required there by Jack Bycroft from Bim Pepple, the Canadian. Shooting towards the bottom right corner. Had to get down low to save. Didn't score in their 2 League Cup games last season. Bim Pepple. Finished last season as the joint 5th highest scorer in League One with 16. Long goal kick by Murphy Cooper. Towards Curtis, who does glance on. Pepper will chase it, and he'll keep it in towards the corner. Flag kicked out by Fitzwater, throwing on the far side for Plymouth. Well won. Again, hard work there by Pepple. And we know Wes Harding, the right back, has got a long throw in his locker. Instead of Wes Harding taking this one, it's going to be Alex Hartridge to do so. I think the referee just getting the assistant referee just to remove an item off the pitch on the far side where the throw-in's been taken in the final third. Looks like it's an electronic cigarette that's been thrown onto the pitch, probably from the away support. So the referee will be following the protocols here. I think he's going to get one of the stewards on the pitch, probably the lead steward, to just dispose of the electronic cigarette and, get their stewards to try and calm the Exeter supporters down. I know that's difficult with it being a derby, but you can't be throwing electronic cigarettes at footballers trying to take a throw-in, no matter how fierce the rivalry is. So eventually, the throw-in is going to be taken by Hartridge. In it goes to the near post. It's headed on by Boateng, and they get a shot towards goal. It's squirmed its way through, but easily saved in the end by Bycroft. Not quite sure who got the touch to goal. It was a bit of a mess just outside the 6-yard area. Glanced on by Boateng, and it was Ross, the centre-back in the end, who got the kick towards goal, but it was more of a kick than a shot, just trying to get some sort of contact on the ball. As Exeter have already lost possession in the right-back position for Plymouth with Harding. He'll go long up towards the middle of the pitch, looking for Pepple. Brought to the ground by Fitzwater, and that's going to be a free kick for Plymouth, about 10 yards inside the Exeter half. The Exeter captain, the guilty party that time around. Ten minutes to go of the half. It's going to be a ball delivered into the 18-yard box to the back post towards Alex Mitchell. It's a header away, and here is Oluwabori. Clears it down the right-hand side. No one up there for Exeter, but it couldn't even stay in play anyway. Throwing for Plymouth on this near side. And it's going to be Hartridge to take. Looks like he's going to try and throw it towards the edge of the 18-yard area. quickly throws it short instead to the halfway line to Harvey White. Goes across into a central position here to Wes Harding. And then to his left once more to White. Here's Hartridge. Back to White once more. Can they deliver a ball in towards the box? It's a long ball. It's a diagonal ball to the edge of the area. It's been volleyed backwards in the end there by Alex Mitchell. And Exeter can try and break Oluwabori. Can't get away from Amici. Good defensive play from the number 10. And Plymouth already back on the ball. Out to the far side to Malachi Boateng. Forward to Ronan Curtis, who lets it run through his legs and then he slips. Can't keep it in play. Throwing for Exeter City, who only lost 2 of the last 12 in the league last season to Bradford and Blackpool. But when they weren't losing, they weren't winning. A lot of draws picked up to end their season. The season before that, Exeter finished 16th and they were 10 points ahead of relegation. 3 points off a mid-table finish, but 22 points off a playoff push, but ended up finishing 7 points worse off the season after and resulted in their relegation back to League Two. Just the 46 miles separates these two. 1 hour to get from one ground to the other. This game is just slightly gone into the control of Plymouth, and they've got it on the halfway line, far side. Ross dinking it forward towards the edge of the area, just goes over the head of Amici, who will chase the ball down. It's Oluwabori who has to deal with it. He gets the clearance away, but straight back to Plymouth in their own half here with Alex Mitchell, who scored all of his goals last season away from home in the league against Wimbledon, Reading and Blackpool. Ball dinked down the right-hand side towards Peppel. Again tries to chest it down, but cleared in the end by Doyle Hayes. All as far as Harding, as Plymouth are currently putting on relentless pressure on this Exeter defence and team, as they're all behind the ball at the moment. As it's in the centre circle with Matthias Ross. Goes to his right to Harding. Keeps the ball away from Reece Cole. Harvey White to the near side to Hartridge. Forward to the striker of Will Evans, just forced out of the area by Cummins. Here's Amici. Back out to Evans on the left-hand side. Signed on Friday and straight into the starting 11. Hartridge, Boateng tripped as he poked the ball forward. And that'll be a free kick for Plymouth. About 23, 24 yards out. Foul committed by Jake Doyle Hayes. The Irishman came through at Aston Villa for 6 years. Before joining Aston Villa, had interest from Manchester United and Chelsea. His last competitive appearance, Jake Doyle Hayes, was actually all the way back in the middle of February against Wycombe at home. Suffered with injury at the back end of last season. And he's the one who's given the foul away for this Plymouth free kick. Won by Malachi Boateng, who's just started to come more to life towards the back end of this first half. Plymouth's number 6 came through at Chelsea, at Crystal Palace, sorry. There's a 3-man wall, like I say, about 24, 25 yards out. Ronan Curtis is the right-footed option. They've also got Xavier Amici stood over it. 5 minutes to go till half-time. Will we get a shot or a cross? Looks like it's going to be a cross. Curtis runs over it. Amici delivers the cross into the area to the back post. Boateng gets there. Last touch off Hartridge. That should be a goal kick. And they've given a corner. Definitely a goal kick. Boateng got round the back and kept it in play. And then Woodhouse ended up kicking the ball off Hartridge. And you can just tell by the look of Hartridge that he knows it's a goal kick. And he's can't quite believe his luck that his team have profited with a corner from that. 5 minutes till the break. This will be controversial circumstances if Plymouth are to take the lead through this. Amici right onto the goalkeeper as it's headed towards goal. It's another corner. Promising delivery in there by Xavier Amici. Swinging it in towards goal. Yeah, came off Curtis. Then off Fitzwater. That's what that one's a rightly given corner. Unlike the one previous. Like it's going to be a right-footed in-swinger from Ronan Curtis, the 30-year-old. Left arm raised with the pink Nike boots on. In it goes. Middle of the box again. It's a good header by Cummins. All as far as Harvey White, 2 volleys. Good 5 yards wide of the post. It's a goal kick for Exeter. We will just want to get in here at half-time at 0-0 because they've been really under the cosh the last 10 minutes or so. Plymouth starting to pile the pressure on. But Plymouth haven't exactly had success in this competition in recent years. They've not reached the third round since the 2007-2008 season when they lost 1-0 away to West Ham in the third round. A Dean Ashton goal in stoppage time. Won the Hammers that game. Hartridge heads away for Plymouth, only as far as Cummins on the right-hand side. Down the channel it goes, and then volleyed away by Mitchell. And that's a throw-in for Exeter towards the final third. It looks like it is going to be a long throw here to be taken by Charlie Cummins, the 21-year-old who joined back in January 2024 from Cobham Ramblers, the team that Roy Keane started at. Signed a new 1-year extension in April this year. Charlie Cummins, making just his 15th senior appearance for the club. As he throws it into the near post, it loops up into the sky. Touched away there by Ross, but only as far as Perry. Here's Cummins again on the right-hand side. Can he get away from Amici? He can. Crosses it. It flicks to the back post and no one's there to tap it home. Dangerous touch that from Woodhouse, but couldn't find a teammate. And Plymouth, with 2.5 minutes to go, have just had a few scares within the first half. Cummins with a low-driven ball in. It's a great flick by Woodhouse into the 6-yard area. Wareham just couldn't quite get across his man. Such a dangerous little flick there from Luca Woodhouse. Showing his midfield touch there, the centre-back. Here's Peppel. On the Plymouth right, edge of the area. He goes for the strike, it deflects to Ronan Curtis, who's in an offside position. And that's going to be a free kick for Exeter inside their 18-yard area. Plymouth are actually unbeaten in their last 12, including their pre-season. The form that kind of got Plymouth back on track was when they lost just 1 from 10 league games from the 9th of December to the 27th of January. That's exactly when their fortunes changed, because until December they were still sat at the bottom of the table and many were calling for Tom Cleverley to go. But patience and persistence has seemed to have profited Plymouth as they go into the new season. Tom Cleverley still at the helm, but new signings certainly needed because their depth on the bench in an attacking sense is really poor. Owen Oseni out of the matchday squad. Tonight, the Plymouth striker who scored 7 last season in the league. Scoring twice in that first round win against QPR in the League Cup last season. It's Matthias Ross. He's being chased down by Wareham. He forces it back to the goalkeeper of Cooper, who has to hurry the ball away from after pressure from Wareham. Towards Boateng, goes beyond him and then to Curtis, who loses out to Edwards, but then flicked inside by Boateng to White, and then just lifted out to the left-hand side to Hartridge. Plymouth win the ball back well into the Exeter half. Ball played forward to Amici. Allowed to turn forward, the number 10, and then goes for a crossfield ball into the area. Peppel can control it and strike it and score, but the referee blows the whistle for a free kick. He believes Peppel used his arm to control the ball. Brilliant ball by Amici, and it does look like he used his outstretched arm to bring the ball down. Yeah, certainly handball. As he kicked it into the ground there, Peppel from 6 yards out went over the goalkeeper of Bycroft. But I think the referee's got that one right. Just came off his outstretched right arm. But we have had a goal in the game. It's been disallowed. And we've got 1 minute of added on time at the end of this first half in the Devon derby. Throw-in for Plymouth inside their own half. Thrown into the Exeter half through Harding, and then headed backwards by Edwards, headed forward by Doyle Hayes, and that's going to be a throwing for Plymouth just in front of their own technical area here as Tom cleverly throws the ball underarm to Harding, who will throw the ball down the line once again up towards Pepple, who gets the chested touch but it just gets away from him, and it will roll for a throw-in for Exeter on the far side as they can see half-time in their sights, a landmark they'll be very happy to get to because the last 15 or so minutes Plymouth have really started to get control in the game. As the ball's thrown down the line, headed forward by Curtis towards Pepple. But that's where the referee blows his half-time whistle. And here in the Devon Derby in this League Cup first round fixture, it's Plymouth 0, Exeter 0. Plymouth certainly the team with the bigger chances so far in the game. The biggest one coming right at the end of the half. Bim Pepple with the ball in the back of the net after a crossfield ball into the box by Amici. And he brought the ball down, but with his arm before he was able to kick the ball into the ground and force the ball into the back. Then Exeter have had sniffs at goal, the biggest sniff certainly coming to the end of the half as well. The ball low driven into the near post by Charlie Cummins, and it was flicked on really smartly by Luca Woodhouse, but it couldn't quite reach Jaden Wareham at the back post. And it's just a few warning signs that Exeter have given Plymouth, and they just need to make sure that they are switched on at all times. They don't want to be losing this Devon Derby, Plymouth, especially after not winning one last season. But here at half-time at Home Park, it's Plymouth 0, Exeter 0. And I'm going to have a quick break for half-time. I'll be back in around 10 or 15 minutes for second half live commentary. But at the moment, at Home Park, it's goalless. It's Plymouth 0, Exeter 0. Hello and welcome back to Plymouth taking on Exeter in the Devon derby. It is 0-0 at the half-time stage. Whoever wins will take on Coventry at home in the second round. It is Plymouth who have come the closest so far. They've had a goal disallowed at the end of the half. Bim Peppel having the ball in the back of the net, but he had handled it in the build-up. Exeter have had a few half glimpses at goal, balls flashing across the net, but not being able to put home the ball into the back of the net. Plenty for both to be happy with. Plymouth certainly started to dominate more towards the back end of the half, last 10 or 15 minutes, but Exeter hung in. That's what they'll have to do for the rest of the game. When these two met last season, Exeter won at home 2-0 in October. Reece Cole scoring that night on a Thursday night, and he also scored in the 2-2 draw hit. He put Plymouth 1-0 up in that game. Exeter 1-0 up in that game as well, but that ended 2-2 after a Malachi Boateng 90th minute equaliser. Doesn't look like there's going to be changes from either side, as Bim Peppel just in conversation there with Brendan Wiradoo. It does look like there's going to be a change. Looks like it's going to be a change for Exeter. Their new signing brought in on Thursday, Harry Kite, brought in from Truro. Funnily enough, beat Exeter in a friendly with Truro in pre-season back on the 18th of July. A Tyler Harvey penalty in the 52nd minute. So over 1,200 people was in attendance that night. Says it's going to be Jake Doyle-Hayes to come off, the Irishman, for the number 14, Harry Kite. So it's going to be a like-for-like change in that midfield for Exeter. Has been here before at the club, Harry Kite. Started his career at Exeter almost 2 decades ago at the age of 8. Left in 2024 and he's now back once again. Known for his work rate and energy. He's already made over 100 appearances for the club, so he's back in familiar territory, as it will be Plymouth to kick us off this time around. They'll be kicking left to right. Exeter right to left towards their away support, who are on the left-hand side of the ground as we look towards it. So just the one change. Doyle-Hayes off for Kite. For Exeter, Plymouth have stayed the same. It's going to be Harvey White to get us underway as the referee, Dean Whitestone, has blew his whistle to go back to Murphy Cooper, the goalkeeper, and it's a long ball forward down the middle of the pitch. It's headed on by Boateng. Evans will chase it into the area. Woodhouse needs to deal with it, and he does momentarily. Poking out to the left to Edwards, and then played down the left-hand side, straight out of play. Throwing for Plymouth as from kick-off, Matthias Ross has only just got back to his feet. It looked like he's been pushed into there by Reece Cole. A little bit naughty there from the Exeter's number 12. A little stamp potentially there on Plymouth's number 2. A signing they brought in from Galatasaray last season. When he was brought in, cleverly was delighted with the signing. So towards the final third, it's another Plymouth throw-in with their captain for tonight, Wes Harding. Just 29 years of age, turns 13 October as his throw-in goes into the 18-yard area, headed away in the end by James. And then goes all the way through to the halfway line here to Wes Harding, the number 45, who will recycle it back forward with his switch ball out towards the left-hand side. It's headed on into the area towards Peppel. It's nodded down. Shot by Alex Mitchell. Can't quite get it on target. Ends up rolling away from goal. It's a goal kick for Exeter. Scored the 3 goals last season, Alex Mitchell. Not scored here at home park yet. It was a header down in the end by Fitzwater, who was able to get up ahead of Peppel. And it fell straight to Mitchell, who ended up dragging the shot well wide of goal. But it's a positive start from the home side, as it's still 0-0 early on, as Tom Cleverley looks to be in conversation there with Matthew Sorinola. As Exeter try and break with the ball. It's Perry in the area, right-hand side. Can he get the cross in? It's blocked off by Mitchell and then had to be tipped over the crossbar by Murphy. Cooper. And that's going to be a corner on the far side for Exeter. Well won there by Taylor Perry, who got the better of Alex Mitchell the first time around, but then when he's put the cross in, Alex Mitchell's able to deflect it up into the air and just underneath the crossbar, the goalkeeper had to tip it over. An Exeter train has been created in the 18-yard area, and then they split off and the ball's delivered into the area, headed to the edge of the box. It's Perry with the shot. Can't quite get it under control. And it's high and wide in the end. Goal kick for Plymouth. It was a header won by Ross, and it was chested down by Perry, and then just slightly off balance had the shot with the weaker left foot and was just always curling and drifting away from goal in the end. Into the Plymouth side of that end behind the goal. It's a goal kick for Plymouth to be taken by Murphy Cooper, who's been described by Tom Cleverley as a great character and also a terrific shot stopper as he was brought into the club this summer from QPR. Once defending, Plymouth now attacking, and I think they've won a corner. Will Evans on the left-hand side, kicking the ball off Fitzwater. It's either a throw-in or a corner. I didn't quite see where that came. I think it's going to be a throw-in next to the corner flag, going to be taken by Alex Hartridge. Got him on this side who can take a long throw, and then also Wes Harding on the right flank as well. So it's constant bombardment from Plymouth Argyle with a long throw-in. In it goes to the edge of into the near post. It's headed away by Wareham, doing his defensive work for Exeter. And they break away. Reece Cole with the ball. He's got a ball inside to Oluwabori. Reece Cole will continue to drive the ball forward, and then he crosses it in towards the number 11, who can't control the header. Comes off the top of his head, and wide it goes for a goal kick for Plymouth. It's a quick counter there from the away side. Hands on head for some of those in the away end. Oluwabori with a breakaway ended up dropping to Reece Cole, who ended up just driving down the right-hand side. Oluwabori continued his run through the middle, and he found him in the area 12 yards out. Just couldn't quite control the header. Just bounced off the top of his head in the end. Half chance for the Grecians. 5 minutes into the second half, we're still goalless. Both teams looking to try and take the lead in this Devon derby. It's now with the Exeter goalkeeper of Jack Bycroft, who has had loan spells at Weymouth and Dorchester, Taunton, Aldershot, Oxford City during his time at Southampton, the academy he came through. Joined last season from Swindon Town. Plymouth now on the ball with their left centre half of number 15, Alex Mitchell. 2 appearances away now from half a century for Plymouth Argyle, who won Player of the Season last season. Wes Harding, Boateng, Amici on the right-hand side this time. At the start of this second half, it's Harding on the halfway line. He sees a switch out as he plays it across towards Alex Mitchell, who touches it inside brilliantly. Through the middle of the pitch, tries to play it through to Evans. It's a interception from Woodhouse, but back with Harding. Drives forward away from Cummings. Where's Harding? Is he fouled? No, he's not. Ball can be brought away here for Exeter. Charlie Cummings on the ball. Tackled strongly and fairly by Will Evans, who is introducing himself to the Pilgrims in a very popular way. And he keeps it and plays it out to the right to Amici. One-on-one here with Gwion Edwards. Amici digs out across the far post. It's dangerous. There's a punch from Bycroft. As far as Hartridge on the left-hand side. Forward to Curtis. In the final third, outside the area, crosses into the near post. Another punch away. Needs to be helped away, and it is in the end by Taylor Perry. Can't be controlled by Wareham, but he wins the second ball on the tackle on Harding. Reece Cole. Oluwabori. Back through to Reece Cole, who can't quite get the touch. Back through to Olu Wabore. And it's gone through to the Plymouth goalkeeper in the end as the Exeter away ender in full voice, despite their relegation last season, finishing on 49 points. 12 wins from 46, 16 wins in all competitions, 6 of them away from home. It's the left back, Alex Hartridge, just before the halfway line, being forced to go back to Mitchell. Murphy Cooper started at Wycombe before joining QPR, spent 14 years there, joined at the age of 10 before his move this summer to Plymouth. The ball drops in the box for Curtis, had to be kicked away by Oluwabore. It's going to be a corner on the far side for Plymouth Argyle. Looks like it's going to be taken with the right boot of Ronan Curtis. The winner will take on Coventry in the second round at home. 8 minutes into the second half. Alex Mitchell's up there. So is Matthias Ross. The 2 centre-backs. It's a left arm in the air from Ronan Curtis. In-swinger to the 6-yard box. It's another punch from Bycroft and then cleared away, but only as far as the edge of the area where it's been headed on in the end by Reece Cole, as far as Harding, who can control and play it inside to Harvey White, who can then lift the ball into the area, and it's too long and it's out for a goal kick for Exeter City with their goalkeeper Jack Bycroft. Just his second ever League Cup appearance for the Exeter goalkeeper. His other only appearance was in a 4-0 away defeat with Swindon against Crawley back in August 2024. Long kick forward, straight to Wareham, controls it on the halfway line, finds Reece Cole. He has got runners either side of him. He plays it out to the right to Oluwabore. 1-on-1 with Hartridge and also Curtis now, who joins in, but he gets away from Hartridge and then crosses in, and it's wild, high over the bar. Goal kick for Plymouth. Certainly been the better player in that Exeter side tonight, Andrew Oluwabore. Mainly a right-sided player, being right-footed, but can also work on the left-hand side as well. They're warming up, signed today on a season-long loan, Ethan Sutherland for Exeter. Left wing-back. Much needed reinforcement because they are light in their squad at the moment, Exeter City, as it's a header on from the long ball for Plymouth. It's a shot by Will Evans. It's spilt and then recollected by Jack Bycroft. Starting to find a little bit of rhythm in the second half. Will Evans, it's a long ball forward, and it was a brilliant header on by Ronan Curtis. He has the ability to do that. Will Evans just slightly snapped at the shot. Didn't score in any of his last 9 league games last season, Will Evans. His last set of goals was a brace at home to Northampton at the end of March. Also scored in the 5th round of the FA Cup for Mansfield when they were beaten at home to eventual Premier League champions Arsenal. 10.5 minutes into the second half, still Plymouth 0, Exeter 0. Plymouth haven't won in this fixture now for almost 3.5 years. Long ball forward, headed away by Boateng for Plymouth. Headed backwards by Curtis to keep the ball with Hartridge, and then he kicks it off of Taylor Perry. And that's going to be a throw-in in the left-back position for Plymouth. Good pressing there by Taylor Perry, who is known as an energetic box-to-box midfielder. Came through at Wolves, made 3 first-team appearances for them, including 1 in the Europa League as a substitute against Slovan Bratislava. Actually suffered promotion himself with Shrewsbury 2 seasons ago, finishing 24th that campaign. Boateng finding Harding forward from right back into the middle to Amici. Touches it on once more to Peppel. Here's Amici again, then out to the left to Ronan Curtis. On his right foot, lays it off to Harvey White. Back out wide to Hartridge, who can cross it into the area. Teasing ball, header away by Fitzwater. As far as Boateng on the right side of the area. Can he work across? In it goes. Great ball in. It's a header over. 6 yards out. Peppel has to find the back of the net, but he can't. The goal-scoring machine at the back end of last season has had 1 in the back of the net already tonight. That was ruled out for a handball at the end of the first half. And he got there to win the header ahead of Ed James, who was late to challenge for the cross. Well worked by Plymouth Argyle. Certainly the biggest chance of the game so far. And it's still goalless with 33 of the 90 to play. As Bim Pepple has got a bloody nose there because he did catch the head of the defender of Ed James, the 21-year-old Welshman, who's had 9 loan spells in his career whilst at Exeter. Ed James at Torquay, Chippenham, Bath, the Oval, Dorchester, Tiverton, Weymouth, Saltash as well. But I don't think it's been noticed, the bloody nose, so we have got back underway. Ed James with a clearance for Exeter down the right channel. It's allowed to be controlled for Wareham by Mitchell, who allowed the ball to bounce, but he's been helped out by his teammate Hartridge. It's now Curtis who's been pulled down. That's going to be a free kick for Plymouth Argyle towards their left-hand side, about midway side their own half. It's going to be taken by Hartridge, by Mitchell, who goes back to the goalkeeper of Murphy Cooper. Most of his appearances in his career, Murphy Cooper, have come in League One. The 24-year-old, as it's a ball out to Hartridge on the left, can't quite control it, throwing just before the halfway line for Exeter. And there is their manager, Matt Taylor, with the ball. 100 wins for him as Exeter boss over his 2 spells. He has suffered 4 first-round exits as a manager in this competition. Matt Taylor, the 44-year-old, whose contract length hasn't been stated when he signed a permanent deal to stay on as manager of Exeter. He has won 1 time in this Devon derby, and that was a 4-0 win in League 2 back in October 2019. Edwards on the halfway line for Exeter. Down the line it goes to Cummins. Pulled to the ground by Harding. That's going to be a free kick for Exeter. And the longer this game stays at 0-0, the more belief that the Grecians will grow into. And they'll find themselves trying to go for the winner, because they've got nothing to lose in this game. Got a depleted squad due to financial troubles. They've had severe financial strain after overspending, not last season but the season before. It took emergency loans of up to £600,000 from its fan ownership group to kind of stay afloat. But their chairman, Wilf Walsh, has said finances are in good shape, and that was said on the 30th of July of this year. So they'll need some more reinforcements if they want to be serious in League 2 next season. Ball goes in from the free kick, well caught by Cooper. Brilliant catch from the Guion Edwards free kick. And he rolls it out to the right to Wes Harding, who will bring the ball forward for the Pilgrims. Just before the halfway line, he slows it down, lays it off to the number 6 of Malachi Boateng. One of his 5 Plymouth goals was in the Devon derby last season in the 2-2 draw to equalise late on. Half an hour to go. Matthias Ross at right centre-back. Keeping the ball away from Wareham. Lifted ball towards the edge of the area to Pepple. Header won by Fitzwater instead. And the ball back to the goalkeeper's shore. Evans is in! And over the bar it goes. A calamitous error at the back for Exeter has not been punished by new signing Will Evans. Header won by Fitzwater. And in the midfield, their new signing, Harvey Kite, tried to play it back towards his goalkeeper. It was short, and it played the ball through to Will Evans. And about 10 yards out, he's just got right underneath it, well over the crossbar, but a huge opportunity for the Welshman, who scored 25 goals during his time at Mansfield. He's got to be careful with passing it back like that, Harvey Kite. Brought in on a free, back to the club from Truro last Thursday. Bit of a late one there from Harvey Kite, potentially. Yeah, probably a free kick that to Plymouth and Malachi Boateng, but wasn't punished for it, Harvey Kite. Just needs to relax. He's just had a bit of an on-edge last couple of minutes. .28.5 minutes to go. Still 0-0 in this Devon derby. Throwing down the line by Woodhouse. Headed out of play by Harding. Another throw for Exeter on the near side in this final third. If they're going to get much success, it will more than likely be from set pieces, long throw-ins and balls into the box. So it looks like Exeter are readying a couple of changes of their own here. It's going to be a long throw-in by Charlie Cummins to the near post. It goes. It's a header away by Mitchell. Back towards Cummins, who will let the ball roll out. Going to be another throw-in from the same spot for the Grecians. Are they going to make the changes first? No, the throw-in will be delivered imminently. In it goes to the near post. Another header away, that time by Hartridge. Throw-in again for Exeter. More towards the midway point of the Plymouth half. So Charlie Cummins will leave it to be taken by Luca Woodhouse, who throws it back to the halfway line to Jack Fitzwater. Into the centre circle now with Ed James. Got a year extension option on his contract as it expires at the end of this season. Luca Woodhouse needs to get rid of the ball. He's being pressed here by Amici. Turns away from the number 10, then plays a ball forward in behind for Wareham to chase. The goalkeeper will get there first. Murphy Cooper and his right-footed clearance cannon straight out of play. And that's going to be a throw-in for Exeter City. Just forcing a little bit of pressure in the last few moments. Exeter City, something they've not really done all game. Throwing down the line to the corner flag by Edwards. It's going to be kept in by Wareham. Edwards making the run inside. Wareham kicks it off Harding, and that's going to be a throw-in again for Exeter, right next to the corner flag on the near side. This will give them some confidence, some belief that they could maybe take the lead in this game, like they did here when they last played in April. That was all the way back in the 47th minute through Reece Cole, who is starting and playing tonight. Throwing into the near post again. Touched down by an Exeter man, back to Cummins, who will cross it with his right boot, and it goes all the way through to the back post. Not cleared well enough. Reece Cole controls it with his hand in the box, and that's going to be a free kick for Plymouth Argyle. Not complaining. I think he knows where he controlled that ball. Reece Cole, who came through and was a product of the Brentford Academy, but went and played some non-league football, and he actually said that playing non-league sparked his love for football back again. And whilst he was playing in non-league, he spent time working as a teacher, as he wasn't in the professional game. So we're going to get a couple of Exeter changes. It's going to be Guion Edwards, the new signing from Morecambe, to be replaced by new signing Ethan Sutherland, which was announced earlier today. And midfielder Taylor Perry is going to be replaced by a striker of Josh Gordon, another new signing brought in back in June from Walsall on a free. He spent the majority of last season on loan in League Two with Barrow, where they were relegated, Barrow, but he did score 9 goals during that loan spell, Josh Gordon. Got the one League Cup goal in his career. That was against Macclesfield all the way back in August 2018 in a second round fixture. So it looks like Exeter are going to go for the game a little bit more, taking off a midfielder and putting on a centre forward in Josh Gordon to play alongside Jaden Wareham. Long kick forward for Exeter, headed up in the air by Mitchell. It's not really away from their 18-yard area. Headed on by Cummins, headed away by White for Plymouth, only as far as Oluwabori, who will try and keep the ball in on the far side. He's not kept it in. Goal kick for Plymouth Argyle. A quarter of the game left to play. Still goalless, still a second round spot up for grabs. The winner will take on Coventry at home. And then a Plymouth change. Had a slightly quiet second half. Xavier Amici, and he's going to be replaced by Matti Sorinola, the 25-year-old who Suffered with a little bit of an ankle injury at the back end of last season. Scored the 1 goal in their 3-2 away win at Luton all the way back in September. It has been a game that has lacked quality. You can definitely tell we're at the beginning of a new season. Been scrappy at times from both. Switch ball for Exeter, headed away by Hartridge and then collected by Boateng with a heavy touch forward. Peppel can't keep it alive, cleared for Exeter and it can't quite reach Wareham. Bounces through into the gloves of the goalkeeper of Murphy Cooper, who throws it to right back Wes Harding. And then back to the goalkeeper of Cooper. Out to the left now to Alex Mitchell, the 24-year-old, who can fire it to his left to Hartridge just before the halfway line. Inside to Harvey White, keeping the ball away from Gordon. Hartridge back to Mitchell, who will clip it over to Wes Harding at right back, 10 yards away from the halfway line. Ball forward to Sorinola, into Boateng, who is tripped there by Kite, and that will be a free kick for Plymouth Argyle. Sorinola taking his position on that right-hand side, so it's a like-for-like change with Amici. Thought he might have switched flanks with Ronan Curtis, who started the day on the left-hand side. Sorry, he's on the right. Sorry, started on the right-hand side. Sorry, Ronan Curtis has now been on the left-hand side for the second half. Harvey White plays a ball into Peppel, who tries to hold it up, but he's been dispossessed by Kite, who goes in with a huge challenge. It's a naughty one. The referee is calm about it. It's going to just be a free kick. Did go flying in there, Harry Kite. Oh, it's high. It's right on the leg. Lucky, Harry Kite. Very lucky. VAR's in play. They'd probably have a look at it. I think it's a yellow card. I don't think it's quite a red. Boy's got away with no card at all. It's just towards the left-hand side. It's going to be Harvey White to deliver. Former Spurs youngster crosses it to the back post towards Alex Mitchell. It has to be glanced on by Wareham. Corner for Plymouth on the near side. Felt like he couldn't take the risk and just let it go beyond him. Had to get a touch. Exeter's number 9. It's going to be an in-swinger from that left boot again. Harvey White with the delivery this time. Just like the free kick has just been taken. In-swinger. Back post. It's dangerous. It's dropping. It needs to be dealt with. Last touch off an Exeter man. It's a corner on the opposite side. 20 minutes to go. Still goalless. If this ends a draw, it will go straight to penalty kicks. Sea of green behind that goal. It's going to be an in-swinger from the right boot of Ronan Curtis this time around. Plenty of bodies to aim for as they hover around the 6-yard box. The cross goes in towards the goalkeeper. It's headed away off the line. He's still alive, but the free kick's gone Exeter's way. Free kick for the Grecians. Given by Dean Whitestone, the referee. Another teasing ball in. Yeah, Peppel on the goalkeeper. Still a bit too close. Backing into the number 1 for Exeter City. Taking his time with this free kick because we've got another Exeter change. Reece Cole, who scored home and away in this fixture last season, has been replaced by George Birch, a player who's been at Exeter since under 14 level. This is just his 6th appearance for them at senior level. He actually scored for them. He scored that very famous consolation goal against Manchester City in the FA Cup last season when they were beaten 10-1 at the Etihad. Actually a bit of a screamer as well, a long ranger into the back of the net at the Etihad. A moment he'll never forget. He said it was an amazing feeling. It feels amazing when he signed his first pro deal. George Birch, Long ball for Exeter down their left channel. Gordon's going to chase it. Ross will see it out for a throw-in. Well defended there by the Dane, who will leave the throw-in for number 45, Wes Harding, whose last goal he scored came in cup competition. It was in the FA Cup 5th round from Millwall when they were beaten 3-1 away to their fierce rivals Crystal Palace back in March 2025. Harvey White on the halfway line, swipes it to his left to Hartridge. On once more to Ronan Curtis. One-on-one with the fullback, tries to cut inside. He's being held up and then eventually tackled by Harry Kite, who kicks the ball away. Only as far as Alex Mitchell. Plymouth want to try and get the ball forward again quickly. Hartridge into Mitchell. Middle of the park is Boateng, tries to poke it forward. He's been tackled and there's a counter-attack on. Gordon, ball lifted over the top to Cummins. He's going to get there ahead of Ross. Holds it up on the edge of the area. Twisting and turning. And then gets tackled. And that's a corner for Exeter. Really well won by Charlie Cummins. He was praised by manager Matt Taylor at the back end of last season for his performances after returning from loan from Western-super-Mare in the February. And he's won his side a corner kick with 17 to play. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinger from the far side by their new signing, Ethan Sutherland. In it goes, back post, dangerous, headed away, drops to the edge of the area to Gordon, who swipes at it. And it's a goal kick, well wide in the end by Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon, the number 10, actually has a uni degree in sports development and coaching. Clearly looking at his career after football. Long kick forward for Plymouth. It's headed on, but then cleared in the end and helped on by Ed James. Long as far as Alex Mitchell, can't be kept in by Ronan Curtis. And that's a throw in for Exeter just before the halfway line on the far side. It'll probably be taken by Andrew Oluwabori. Forced to go back to the goalkeeper, Bycroft, on the edge of the 18-yard box. Long kick forward down the right channel for Exeter. Header won confidently by Alex Mitchell. Glanced on by Ronan Curtis. Can't be kept by Sorinola. And it's a long ball forward and eventually it's run into the gloves of Murphy Cooper. And here is the goalkeeper just outside the 18-yard box. Plays it out to the right back of Wes Harding. Into the Exeter half now with ball to Sorinola. Tries to play the 1-2 with Boateng. It's misplaced. It's a slice clearance from Woodhouse. Header won by Boateng. Played forward by Sutherland. And it's going to be Wareham to chase it. It's a, if in doubt, volley away from Matthias Ross. And that's going to be a throw-in for Exeter. Midway side, the Plymouth half on the near side. Will we get a winner in normal time? Looks like Exeter are going to try and launch this ball from the throat as far as they can. It's a long throw to the near post. It's a header away by Will Evans for Plymouth. Controlled though by Sutherland. Hooks it up into the air. Headed away by Peppel. And then into Sorinola. And then a ball in behind for Ronan Curtis. Bycroft's out of his goal quickly. Gets there and clears it. And it's going to be a throw-in on the halfway line for Plymouth. Peppel with the header, then Sorinola just with the pass. It's too heavy. It was good goalkeeping though. Reading the play, Ronan Curtis not happy with that pass from Matty Sorinola. And that will be his last action of the game for Ronan Curtis. And the change. Is it Ronan Curtis? Oh no, I think it's centre-back. Sorry, I think I'm wrong there. Ronan Curtis is still on. It's going to be Matthias Ross, the centre-back, who will come off, and he'll be replaced by Julio Pleguezuelo, the Spaniard, who has come through the academies of Espanyol, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, before 6 years at Arsenal, leaving in 2019. He joined Plymouth back in 2023 from FC Twente. First ever Spaniard to play in the colours of green and white for Plymouth, as there's a foul there, as Sutherland is yellow-carded, foul on the halfway line. A late slide challenge from the loanee announced today. Just a bit too quick there, Matti Sorinola. Certainly got none of the ball and a lot of the man there. About 5 yards in front of the halfway line. It looks like it's going to be taken by Harvey White. It's lifted to the back post, in the area, header away, only as far. Oh, it's towards Will Evans, but it's taken off him by Sorinola, who is then fouled Cummins in the area. And that's going to be a free kick for Exeter towards the penalty spot. It's actually Matti Sorinola who's come off worse. He is getting back to his feet, though. And it was actually Ed James who got there and won the free kick for his team to relieve pressure. They were pretty steady, the League One side as well, Exeter, until the little bit of financial trouble before last season when they were relegated. They finished 16th, then 13th, 14th. So they were surviving pretty steadily, not doing anything too dramatic, but last season just seemed a bit too much of an ask for them to survive. Jack Bycroft kicks it long for Exeter, helped on by Wareham, but straight through to Pleguezuelo for Plymouth, who now has it, the Spaniard, the 29-year-old, who has the one goal for Plymouth, making his 75th appearance tonight, and that goal was a 91st minute equaliser against Bristol City at home, back on New Year's Day 2025, in a 2-2 draw. Ball up towards Peppel, holds it up, plays it through to Will Evans down the right-hand side. The touch is heavy, but he'll keep it in. Still needs to find the cross. In it goes, back post, header from Curtis, it's wide. Got up the highest, Ronan Curtis, but couldn't direct it on target. Quite far wide in the end, but positive play from Will Evans, the new signing, brought in from Mansfield for £400,000, plus some add-ons. Was allowed to get it onto his left foot a bit too easily there by Fitzwater, the captain. And it's a delicious cross, about 8 yards out. Header put a couple of yards wide. 10 minutes to go. Pleguezuelo back to the goalkeeper of Cooper. First time clearance, up it goes into the Exeter half. Header won by captain Fitzwater. Up towards Gordon, heads it down. Kite picks it up, kicks it up into the air. Down the Exeter right, header won by Hartridge. It'll be chased down by Curtis, but well kept by Oliver Borit, who is showing too much the ball to Curtis, who can win it back for Plymouth. Up to Peppel, who beats his man and then plays it behind Sorinola. Will continue the attack though for Plymouth. He's got options right and left. He goes for the ball to the back post. It's Curtis with the header across. It goes to Peppel. Key interception from Woodhouse. And that's going to be a corner for Plymouth on the far side. Still goalless in the Devon derby, but both teams trying to win the game to advance to the second round of the League Cup. Peppel with the pass that just went behind Sorinola, which slowed down the attack. But he eventually found the cross to Curtis, who was putting it back across goal, and that's a brilliant header away from Luca Woodhouse. And he concedes the set piece. Two arms up in the air this time from Ronan Curtis. From the far side, in it goes, back post, header won, and it's wide by Will Evans. Frustrated with himself, the 29-year-old. He scored 8 last season, scored 14 in the league season before that, and scored 21 in League 2 the season before that. Couple of yards out, just a bit too tight, the angle. Couldn't direct it on target. That's a huge chance for Will Evans. On target, it goes in. There's no way Jack Bycroft is saving that one. We still wait for the first goal in this game. Tom Cleverley ponders on. wondering what his team can do to win it. Alex Mitchell heads it the wrong way, but then deflects back to him, and he clears it the right way, but only as far as Ed James, who lays it off to Fitzwater, clears it down the right-hand side for Exeter, volleyed away by Hartridge, helped on by Evans, hooked away by James. Far as Kaitu meets Harvey White fairly, ball bounces down, Ed James comes in, and it's going to be a Plymouth ball and a throw-in taken quickly by Ronan Curtis. Pepple knocked to the ground by Fitzwater, told to get up by the referee. Wareham heads on, Gordon has it, the number 10, thought about the shot, holds it up down the right-hand side. He's got two in the box of Wareham and Cummins, lays it off, and then the cross eventually goes in towards Cummins, gets up for the header, and it comes off the back of his head. And it's an easy save in the end for the goalkeeper of Murphy Cooper. Takes his time on the ball, eventually rolls it in front of him in the 18-yard box. 7 minutes to go here at Home Park. Big kick forward towards Will Evans, who controls it, but there's a push in the back there on Ethan Sutherland. And that's going to be a free kick for Exeter City. Well won there by the Scotsman Ethan Sutherland, on loan from Wolves. When interviewed on sign for Exeter, Ethan Sutherland said it feels amazing to be here and I can't wait to get started. He's got started quickly, and in the biggest game in Exeter's calendar, whenever they're put up against Plymouth, this could be the only meeting due to the fact that they're not in the same division anymore after Exeter's relegation last season. Big kick forward for Exeter to the end of the area towards Wareham, who does head the ball on, but again just straight through to the goalkeeper. Rolled out by Cooper. Alex Mitchell to the left back Hartridge just before the halfway line, slows down, plays it back into Mitchell. It's not quite ticked for Plymouth on the ball. Hartridge, poor ball towards Pepple. Ed James, a tired ball lifted down the right-hand side, straight out of play, throwing. Just started to become tired now, this game, from both sets of players. I mean, it's not been a pleasant watch on the eye, in all honesty. The football's not been great. It's been a bit of a dirty sort of working derby where both teams are getting in tackles, just trying to make it difficult for the opposition with high balls up to their strikers, just trying to make it as physical as possible. A booming header down the pitch there by Hartridge, helped on by Evans, but then a good header back to his own goalkeeper there by captain Fitzwater. And it's going to be Jack Bycroft to pick up the ball. He's going to kick it out of his hands. It's a thumping kick forward. It's going to be chased down by Josh Gordon, but way too much on it. Bounces straight through into the gloves of Murphy Cooper. I'm pretty sure the first bounce of that ball happened in the 18-yard box. Sorinola kicks it off Sutherland, and that's going to be a throw-in for Plymouth Argyle. Midway inside their own half, thrown back by Sorinola here to Harding. It's less than 5 minutes of the 90 to go. We're still goalless. Not really had many clear-cut opportunities. Couple for Plymouth, put over the bar by Evans. But that was quite some time ago now. Ed James heads away. He's not convincing. Ronan Curtis slams it forward. Big block. Straight to Harding, who will work it to this near side. It's Sorinola. One-on-one with Sutherland into the final third. Round the outside of him. Crosses it. Corner. Opportunity for Plymouth Argyle. It's going to be taken by their new signing, Harvey White. Joined after rejecting a new contract with Stevenage. Came through at Spurs, leaving in 2023 for Stevenage. Someone cleverly has said he's looking forward to working with. And he could do with working some magic here with that left boot. In it goes. It's a header up into the sky from an Exeter man. Kept alive by Sorinola. White puts it back into the back post. It's a header up into the air by Pepple. And it will be shielded out of play by Harry Kite. And it's going to be a goal kick for Exeter, who continue to hold on here at Home Park. Also, just like to mention as well, it is the 16-year anniversary of the passing of Adam Stansfield, who is seen as one of the Exeter greats, scored 37 goals for them in 143 appearances. He is the dad of Jay Stansfield, who had that loan spell a couple of seasons ago with Exeter City. And they are respecting his 16-year anniversary of his death at the age of 31, as Sorinola is pulled back by Ethan Sutherland, and that's a second yellow card for the Scotsman. On his debut for his new team, he sees red. Such a silly foul to give away, and all day it's a yellow card when you pull the shirt like that to stop a forward player from advancing. And off the bench, on his debut, Ethan Sutherland has been sent off for a second yellow card offence. His first one was a late tackle on Sorinola, and that one is for a pull on Sorinola. So silly, didn't have to do it because Sorinola was never going to get the ball. Woodhouse was there to clean up. And the 20-year-old shows a lack of experience, and he's been given his marching orders. Still applauded off by the Exeter City fans, but their team have got a whole big task now to deal with as the cross goes in from the free kick, punched away by the goalkeeper. Corner for Plymouth, who will try and beat their opponents while they're down. 2 minutes to go, still 0-0. Exeter down to 10. It's going to be an in-swinger from Ronan Curtis. Referee just having a word with a couple of those players in the 6-yard area. And how dramatic this could be. Plymouth equalising this fixture in the 90th minute. Back in April, this could be to win it. Cross goes in, here's a deep one. All the way through, and it's almost turned in by Pleguezuelo. But he couldn't quite put it on target. And it's a goal kick for Exeter. Just a bit too deep, that one. Again, the angle was just too tight for the Spaniard. I think it curled straight out of play, I'm pretty sure. It did come off the back of Fitzwater, but I feel like the ball had already gone out of play. And we're going to get another Plymouth change. Number 45, Wes Harding, is coming off, the captain, who's been playing right back tonight, and he'll be replaced by Freddie Isaka, who is a winger, so it looks like maybe Sorinola will go full-back, and Freddie Isaka will go out onto the right wing, playing a bit more in an advanced position. Long ball for Exeter, headed backwards by Curtis, missed by Mitchell. Wareham can't quite get there ahead of Pleguezuelo. And that's going to be a corner for Exeter. The team down to 10. Had to get that challenge right as well in the area. Julio Pleguezuelo. Just a backwards header by Curtis, and it just completely caught Mitchell out. But his centre-back partner came across and made the tackle and does concede the corner. Now this would be theatre at its finest if Exeter nick this late. It's going to be an outswinger from the substitute, George Birch. In it goes to the 6-yard box. It's parried by the goalkeeper. Josh Gordon on the edge of the box will try and get there, but he's lost out to Isaka, who he catches late. And that's going to be a free kick for Plymouth Argyle. And they want to take it quickly if they can. Sorinola just inside the Exeter half on the near side. Plays it down the line for Boateng. Brilliant ball. Gets in front of his man almost. It's a good sliding challenge to get back across from Gordon. But he does concede another corner. 3 minutes of the 4 added on to play. Exeter at this point will very happily take penalties with 10 men. But Plymouth want to win it in normal time. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinger. From Harvey White. In it goes, back post again, and the header's won and it's in! It's Derby Day delight for the former Exeter man! Alex Hartridge with the goal! And at the death, Home Park becomes the theatre of greens for the Pilgrims. They have been teasing the Exeter defence with those in-swinging deep corners which have been causing issues. But that time, it has come off. And the man who came through the Exeter Academy, won promotion with them in 2022, has signed this summer for Plymouth and has surely knocked them out of the League Cup. Another brilliant ball from Harvey White, and about 3 yards out, Alex Hartridge rises highest to head right into the middle of the goal. The goalkeeper, Bycroft, just seemed completely distracted with the mayhem in the 6-yard area. What a moment for Alex Hartridge. And that is one way of introducing yourself to your new set of supporters. A thumping header, and Plymouth lead by a 1-0 with just over a minute of added on time left to play. It's been a very difficult watch this at times, but we've been rewarded with a late goal. But Exeter are going to throw the kitchen sink at it. But they do have a man less. Ronan Curtis taking no chances. Long clearance forward. Pepper will chase it. Bycroft kicks it up into the air. Only gets it to the halfway line. Woodhouse heads on. Wareham loses out to Mitchell. Boateng wins the next header. Controlled by Fitzwater, but he loses out in the end to Ronan Curtis. Plays it forward. Isaka chasing it down. Gets there. Tries to head it towards goal. He controls it. He lays it off. Peppel with an open goal. He gets it in for 2. The recovering defender tried to clear it off the line, but it went through his legs. And in stoppage time, Plymouth have seen off their bitter rivals in the Devon derby. It is a calamitous goal to concede, but Plymouth won't care. Peppel will not care. He's already had the ball in the back of the net tonight at the end of the first half, but it was disallowed for a use of the hand in the build-up from the tall target man. But that won't be taken away from him. Unbelievable work rate from the substitute Freddie Isaka, who chased the ball down, cut off the clearance from Woodhouse, beat the goalkeeper Bycroft to it, and laid it off to the edge of the area to Peppel, who took a touch around the goalkeeper. The goal was gaping, and it was empty for a moment. And then on the line, in the end, Woodhouse tried to clear it. Couldn't get his feet right. And he saw the ball go beyond him into the back of the net. It's a heartbreaking end for Exeter. It's Plymouth delight. And it will be the Pilgrims who will host Coventry in the second round of the League Cup. Oh, how Exeter would have loved a penalty shootout, because then it almost becomes a lottery. But not to be for them. As they start to stream out of the away end, it's glanced on from the long throw. It's an overhead kick attempt and a shot towards goal, saved by Cooper. Gordon with the acrobatic attempt. And it's cleared away. Plymouth push up the pitch. And it is the home support in full voice. As it's going to be a 4th season on the bounce where Plymouth reach the second round of the League Cup. And the full-time whistle has been blown at Home Park. A game that lacked quality but could not be questioned on its desire has seen 2 late goals for Plymouth Argyle to see them through into the second round of the League Cup. The momentum was always with Plymouth as they were the team on top, but the tide certainly turned in their favour in the 87th minute. Ethan Sutherland with a stupid second yellow card, pulling back Sorinola, put Exeter down to 10 men, and Plymouth smelt blood and pounced. A corner in the 92nd minute, an in-swinger towards the former Exeter player, Alex Hartridge, who was able to head home from a couple of yards out to give them a 1-goal lead. And in case it was in doubt, they got a second goal to make sure they were through to the second round. It was great work rate from Freddie Isaka, who chased down the ball till the very last moment, where he got there ahead of the goalkeeper, played it to the edge of the box to Peppel, who took a simple touch around the goalkeeper, and then played it beyond the defender on the line to make it 2-0 and send Plymouth through on Derby Day. And as mentioned just before, it will be Coventry to travel down south to Home Park to take on Tom Cleverley's Plymouth, as it is Tom Cleverley's first taste of Devon Derby delights with victory. It's their first time they've won this fixture here at Home Park since October 2022. It's their first win in the fixture in general since April 2023. And they have done it the hard way. They've done it an ugly way. But all that matters is that they have won this game and they have the Devon bragging rights. As that is going to be the end of the commentary. Make sure you do like and subscribe if you have not already. The next commentary planned on the channel, hopefully, fingers crossed, is going to be this coming Saturday, as we're going to be covering Plymouth again. It's going to be Plymouth taking on Stockport County in their first league game of the season. It will be here at Home Park as well. So make sure you subscribe and tune in for that one. 12:30 kickoff for that one on Saturday. So make sure that you subscribe to catch that. But that is going to be the end of the live stream. Make sure you like and subscribe if you have not already. Is here at Home Park. It was a very fiercely contested Devon derby in the League Cup first round, as this might be the only time they face one another this season, as Exeter were relegated last season from League One into League Two. But there was fight, there was passion, there was determination. But 2 stoppage time goals for Plymouth from Alex Hartridge and Bim Peppel is the difference for Plymouth. They march on to the second round, where they will take on Coventry here at Home Park, as from the Devon derby, it is finished Plymouth 2, Exeter City 0.